Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in your hood. I am absolutely Adia.
It's the franchise. I'm in the building.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ashley Nicole. I know she comes in after me, huh? And this is the quad.
Yeah, this is the quad. Ashley Nicole's on assignment right now out of town.
Yeah.
So it's just me and Adia doing what we do.
I'm going to have to give me an assignment, man. Last week, franchise was out snapping all over in Chi-Town.
I was still working, though.
Yeah.
I was still working.
You did a good job.
Yeah, I try.
Then he went, if y'all follow us on social media, and photoshopped himself into all the pictures he missed last week.
I missed being here, so I had to put myself in digitally. But we got a special guest in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna read his bio right quick before I introduce him because he got a track record and he didn't even give me everything. All right. So he was born in D.C., lived in Vegas, England, New York City, Denver, and now Dallas is blessed with him. Florida is where he spent the largest part of his life, so he considers that home, and Florida is what raised him. He started emceeing at 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? He needed a DJ, so he became a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Creative young man. Had a deal with Arista in 98, but never dropped anything. He's been in Double XL magazine a couple of times. Has a group called The Addicts that dropped a few albums, songs with Snoop, Killer Mike, Royce the 5'9", Crooked Eye, MC Search, my boy Talib Kweli, and more. He's also has support from DJs such as Primo, DJ Premier, you know what I'm saying, Tony Tokai, if y'all know, Tony Touch, Static Selector, spell his name right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Spell his name right. Yeah. DJ Eclipse, legendary PF Cuttin. They're all heavy supporters of his groups and his music. Started working at radio in 2003 in Florida, and his boss brought him to Dallas in 2013. He's making some beats on a couple of new projects by my boy Kweli. Can't wait to hear that. Vinny Paz and more. My boy Vinny Paz is so funny because I'm from Rhode Island, so there's a boxer named Vinny Pazienza. So every time I hear Vinny Paz, I always think about the boxer.
That might be why he calls himself. He loves boxing.
Does he really?
Yeah.
It could be. So he's got a million hip hop stories, which I hope we get into a few of those today. Growing up near South Beach and Brooklyn. Give it up for, I'm going to call him Florida's own, but he's in Dallas. DJ Menace, he's in the building.
Yeah. Put some hand claps on that one.
Yeah. So, we need some hand claps on that, Mike. So this is what we're going to start this thing off because this is hip hop's birthday. Happy birthday, hip hop. So I'm going to say something, and because he's a hip hop head, he's going to know how to finish it. All right. So rap is what we do.
Well, hip hop is what we live.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's going to be a great episode. DJ Menace.
Yes, sir.
He's in the building. Thank you for coming to the quad. You know what I'm saying? Blessing us. I've been following him for a while. Matter of fact, first met DJ Menace. One of my homies a few years back sent me a text. He's like, yo, when Prodigy passed, R.I.P. Prodigy, sent me a text. He's like, yo, they doing this graffiti thing over here. I was like, where? In Dallas? He's like, yeah, Dallas, over here at this fabrication yard. I was like, that sounds fresh. I'm going out there. So you was out there and you was streaming and all that. That's why I first kind of seen you. And then I started listening to you on the radio. And then I started following you on Instagram. I'm like, yo, this dude got a hip hop ear that's very similar to my own because I'm old. You know what I mean? So I've been doing this thing for a little while.
Don't call you old.
No,
call
I'm just saying.
Old.
No. I said I'm old. So my ear, and plus I'm from a different place. So my ear is different. Yeah. So listen, man, you gave us your bio. You started emceeing at 11 years old, man?
Yeah.
11 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you are obviously hip hop, right? So what started at 11 years old? You was emceeing. What gave you the influence and started you in the game?
Rakim.
My God.
It was literally, you know how in movies there's a moment and people's life changes and you don't really think of that happening in real life. But then I had that moment. Like Microphone Fiend was that moment for me. Because prior to Rakim, I had, the early Run DMC albums and Beastie Boys and Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. But the moment I heard Rakim, there was no more Guns N' Roses. There was no Def Leppard. Right. There was no. The first record I ever bought with my own money was the Bangles.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought I thought the chick was hot.
Yeah.
I was like my first little boy crush.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was everything. But after Rakim, it wasn't. It wasn't everything. I had to mature to get back into other music. You know what I mean? Like I like some rock now.
Yeah, okay.
But there was a 20-year span where
strictly hip hop.
Yeah.
Man, that's so fresh.
And it was Microphone Fiend. When I heard him say I was a fiend before I became a teen, I melted microphones instead of cones of ice cream. I was like,
I know it.
I know that.
I'm not playing with these toys anymore.
Yeah, right. And you know what's crazy is that's one of my favorite Rakim joints too. And I noticed it like there's no chorus. You know what I mean? It's just straight bars throughout the whole thing.
The whole song.
Yeah, but Rakim, I was gonna ask you that a little bit later. Like, who did you want to emulate? Because for me, it was Rakim because I was young. The flows was clear. And he didn't cuss, so I could do it in the house. I could
play around mom.
Yeah.
You weren't diving across the room to hit stop when your mom came in the crib.
Exactly. So that worked out, man. That worked out a lot for me. That's dope. That's dope, Rakim. No question about it.
I'm thankful too, because I could have been 11 years old now, and I ain't got a Rakim to teach me the things that I learned from these MCs.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I'm glad you said that though.
Well, I wanted to jump around because I know we have in your bio that you had to deal with Arista, but didn't pan out, or what happened with that?
This was 98. It's funny too because I was in the Navy, right? And I got what's called an entry-level separation. I had hurt my knee in basic training, so they sent me home. It's not a dishonorable discharge. It's not an honorable discharge. It means you were never there. I could have went back in if I wanted. The day I got out, I'm sitting in my man's house smoking a blunt, and his phone rings, and it's my boy in Brooklyn, and it was from knee treatment. It's my boy in Brooklyn, and he was like, "Can Menace get out of the Navy?" And he was like, "Yo, Menace is sitting right here smoking a blunt," and it was because Arista wanted to sign me. So we go up there, and it was cool, but like at that time, is right before Clive Davis, who was the legendary Clive, left to start J Records, which is Alicia Keys, Busta. So the girl that was going to sign me did not go to J.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know if she lost her power with Arista or just never panned out.
Yeah, that's
the game is like that. You can sign a deal and sit there for years.
Right. Right. Well, I tell artists that all the time. I do consulting, and that's one of the things I kind of advise against. Were you looking for another deal after it didn't pan out, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chased it for many years. I'm only now, I kind of stopped rhyming like the last year. I don't really think I'm going to do any more albums.
Okay.
And that's fine. I did it the last 10, 15 years for fun.
Right.
But I chased it for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Long time. We paid $15,000 to Snoop to do a hook. I mean, we were chasing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you feel like you would have had the success that you've had on your own independently, being pigeonholed or signed into a deal?
I don't know. With that machine behind you.
Yeah.
And it was that they were signing me. Think about 98. Who had just dropped?
Yeah, no, 98
who had just dropped in 98
the music
and made them want to
totally
sign me?
different.
And for Arista?
Eminem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
98 was Eminem's season.
Yeah.
So
okay,
they were like,
yeah.
They were looking for it. Got it.
I fit the new mold, or at least the moment, the hotness
right
of
at
the
the
moment.
time. Right.
So what do you? Okay, so you see, you're bringing up in the answers. I love that too. What do you think about as far as ranking Eminem with the dopest MCs? Like, what do you just really rank them? Just your opinion.
To me, Eminem is always the best rapper in any room. Meaning, literally, if we were in here right now and Jay was there, Big, and M is gonna blow your mind, right? But his albums aren't good.
Ooh.
Well,
I love that. I feel the same way.
Yeah. I'm not trying to diss Eminem at all. He would smash me in my face right now if we were to put on a beat and say go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you really rock his old albums?
Right.
Yeah. That's a great question.
I don't feel like he has any classic albums. Marshall Mathers LP is his best, but there's so much skippable. It's that one time listen. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that stuff.
Right, and then that's it. No staying power.
That's the way I feel. There's some joints he does have that have staying power. But not
definitely.
Albums.
Yeah.
Not albums.
Well, he gave us the term "stand," so shout out to Eminem.
I do feel like he's the best rapper in any room, though. And every rapper is afraid of him in that room.
I love that. I love that analogy because it's so true and it's so accurate. And this is why I like talking about music with people that know a lot about music. Because, these young boys, they come out with crazy statements and you're just like, why would you?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I got M top 20, top 15, okay. Top 20.
Top 15, yeah. I play some there too. I mean, because you got to give him his credit. You know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Yeah, his skills is ridiculous. It's just, maybe the content might not be something I can quite relate to, but I relate to the fact that he's a rapper and he got that skill to be able to tell a story and be so graphic with it,
I'm such a music nerd. Like, I've thought about this millions of times. The reason Eminem is able to blow you away is he's willing to say anything.
Yeah.
So his rhyme schemes are unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's got more options, if he's willing to say, I'll have sex with my mom, flex drop the bomb, flex drop the bomb.
Right.
And other people ain't gonna say that shit.
They ain't gonna say it. That's hilarious, man. All right, so you have the DJing, you got the rhyme. You said you're not MCing no more, but I also see you kind of like Forrest Gump on the beats, right? So I mean, what aspect of the whole thing? You know what?
Gump.
Well, I mean, because he's serious about.
You gotta
beat
say that
making.
though. Don't just say.
Okay. Well, he's serious about his beat making to the point where he just becomes part of the beat when he's making it.
Okay.
So what aspect of it do? And I'm just saying, going off of what I see and what you post when you're making a new beat. Okay. And I can imagine. I've never done it myself, but I know how I feel when I hear a beat that's just like one of the beats that has had me for years and will always have me. It's part of my ringtone. Matter of fact, is Jay Dilla's "Take Notice." Like it just gets me. Like that's my theme music. I love it.
Okay.
So what aspect of DJing, MCing, beat making, who is DJ Menace? Like it's like what part of that or what aspect of the game really just defines what your passion really is?
That's funny because I can't pick one.
Yeah.
I really can't. DJing pays my bills.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me health insurance. Like it's been amazing. And I love sometimes when I'm DJing, it almost feels like I'm an MC because you get the crowd rocking with you, and it's probably the closest I'll ever get to feeling what it feels like to be a famous MC. I don't know. There's a feeling about spitting bars.
Yeah,
man, that's tough. I just love hip hop, bro. You can't ask me to pick one. You really can't.
Okay. Yeah.
I just got an email from Kweli like 2 weeks ago, and he sent me a new song that he made over one of my beats, and I've listened to it 500 times. So that's it. Gives me joy too.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I can only imagine. I've never done that, but I have so many friends that are DJs and make beats and rap, and I've been in those spaces, and I know. Like when I hear a song, like I can only imagine how I would feel if I wrote the joint,
right,
performed it, and then see the reaction of other people.
Well, see, I've never gotten that far. It's cool to me when I hear like Premier play my stuff.
Yeah,
that's flattering, bro. Oh my god! But
Primo.
I've never had that feeling of going in front of a crowd and like they know your rhymes.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
I literally think I'd get emotional.
Yeah,
I would get emotional. You guys finish the song. I'm gonna cry.
Right. Yeah.
Verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. And finish the song.
I'm glad you brought up Kweli though.
That's my dude. Right
how
there.
do those collaborations happen at this point in your career? They send stuff to you. Do you send out?
Well, it's people I have relationships with. I'll send stuff to. I'm fortunate to have worked in radio for the last 15 years because even though you don't think of Kweli and the radio per se, right?
Right.
I'm that dude that snuck in Kweli records in the middle of the Boosie and the other ones.
Right.
I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying these guys, the hit makers.
I got you.
I'm throwing. Kweli has a version of INDBPE. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm playing that.
Throw it in there.
And they would see why is this station in Florida playing? How am I getting spins? So I would. That's how I know Static. That's how I know Kweli. That's how I know Lupe. That's how I know these dudes were wondering. How am I getting real radio spins?
Snuck it in.
Yeah. And so I've developed relationships like that.
That's
radio,
fresh.
thank God.
Dope. So do you look at that as saying like you can look back at that work and say this is what you did for the culture, to push the music culture?
I have fought since I was a kid, man. No lie. I would stand. I grew up in South Florida. Okay. The culture is booty music.
Right.
Bass, Miami Bass, Uncle Luke. I would go to the club as a teen for teen nights or as a young man, and that's 100% of the night. It's not 10 minutes.
Right.
100%.
It's the night. But me and my 5 homies are the ones asking the DJ, yo, when are you gonna play? Please play Wu-Tang. Please play blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I've done that my entire life.
Yeah, I know. Being from New Orleans, we have bounce culture. So it's the same way. You grow up with that and you love it. Love it because it's your culture. But you also want people to hear this other music that you love. Right. So it's a constant where you're like, how much of this can we play? And then how can we fit it in? So I love that you did that.
Even though I want to make it clear that I'm not dissing that because that culture to me is so
essential.
Near the definition of hip hop. Real talk. The definition of hip hop is a DJ spinning breaks and an MC rocking the crowd. Think about Luke Records.
Oh yeah,
they're just sped up breaks, and he's saying, "What's that #1 zodiac sign? Where are you from?" Which is what the original MCs did. So I'm not saying it's not hip hop, but I was always just fighting for the lyricist.
Right.
Man, and that's the thing that, and I wasn't gonna get into this at first, but I mean it's something that we're talking about now. Like I don't compare, like I don't argue with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't argue with the kids because I feel like when I was a kid and I was listening to Mobb Deep and, you know, guys like that, they were looking at me like, yo, this is trash, bro.
Right.
You know, so I would never tell a kid like their music is trash.
Right.
But if I'm in a space where somebody understands hip hop like I do, I just know that there's a difference. So in your mind, obviously you're on the radio, you play music, you're a DJ. When you have conversations about the difference in the hip hop of the 90s, I'll just say the 90s type of hip hop, and then the hip hop of today, what are those conversations like with you?
I just feel like we should not call it hip hop, and then there's no problem. Because to me, like, okay, let's say we're talking basketball. Basketball has a certain set of rules. You got to shoot, you got to, you dribble, you can't run around without dribbling, rebound, blah, blah, blah. Without those rules, I don't care what you're doing, you're not playing basketball.
Not playing basketball.
So hip hop is a bunch of things. It's rhyming. It's, I always say sampling because that's where hip hop comes. You don't have to. You can make a dope ass beat without sampling.
Okay.
But there needs to be some cuts or an MC. Like if a dude is literally not even rapping anymore, and the beats are made from techno sample packs that they use on their drum machines, there's no element of a DJ whatsoever. How can you call it hip-hop?
Right.
That's my only beef. Bro, I'm in the club. I get the energy of those records.
Yeah.
I bounce to them.
Right.
I don't want to hear Triumph when there's women around.
Right, yeah.
I want to dance. I want to turn up a little bit.
Right.
It has its space, but just don't call it that. Don't, oh my God, like you got masterpieces. Kendrick is up in the same category against some total nonsense.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Right.
One is this artistic gym, which, has all the elements involved. And one is turn up, fun music, trap music, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. So what do you call it?
I don't know. I don't listen to it. So, I play it when I have to. Play it when I have to.
Okay, so on that note, when you do your gigs, because I have some homies that are DJs, and I was just having this conversation a week ago, and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna be interviewing Menace pretty soon, and so they're in my age group, and they're from Rhode Island, but they live here now, and the issue is when they do gigs and they go places. They're trying to play their music, and then people are asking them, yo, you got that new Boosie or whatever.
Right.
And so
shout out to Boosie. Y'all keep using him as
no. That's
he's
just
like that's because we live in Dallas,
example.
and he's to me he's the big name. Like,
yeah. So when you're at those doing those gigs, I know you probably know the room when you see it, and you know what you're gonna play, and you don't get those kind of situations. But are you ever in a situation where you're playing your music and somebody asks you to play something different?
No, but no. People know what they're getting with me.
With you,
people book me for me. That's one of the luxuries I have about being on the radio and everything. Is that it's kind of like I got a built-in audience.
Okay.
A lot of people come to me to be a DJ or involved in their event, and I don't even really have to DJ. Like I go there for 10 minutes, but they wanted me to promote it so that the people who follow me know. But the greatest thing I ever learned from a club owner who was about to smack me in the face one night was, you're not DJing for yourself. You're not. If you're out there DJing trying to play what you like,
right,
you could try to influence people. That's what the early night is for. That's while they're drinking, they're getting their vibe on. You try to sneak in some new stuff. People come up to you, what are you playing? But you don't do that at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right,
Give them what they want.
Yeah. Dope.
I was DJing a club in like 97. I'm like 19 years old. And the owner was like, what are you doing? I was playing,
what were you playing?
Some album cut off Jay-Z Volume 1.
Okay.
In My Lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Volume 1.
Yeah.
And he He was like, "What are you doing?" I said,
was
"This came out today." I said, "This came out today. I'm playing the hot shit."
Right. He was like, "Nah, that ain't
Nobody
hot."
was feeling it.
That is not hot. That's hilarious. I was gonna actually ask you about share with us a hip hop story right quick before we go to our first break.
Oh, I don't know. I got too many. No, I really do. I got too many. They would have to come up organically, kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry, man.
That was a good one, though. What was your response though at 19? You just say,
like,
okay,
yo, this is hot, man.
Or do you fight against it?
You feel stupid. And you look around and you realize
nobody's dancing.
No girls are dancing.
Right.
It's packed. So like in my head, I didn't really notice. It's just so packed, smoky and drink, but no one's really vibing.
Because you was zoning though. That's what happened.
Yeah,
but you know, I've been in that situation so many times, and I know a lot of DJs, and I hate feeling like that because it's a clear shift from when everybody's vibing and everybody's dancing, and then you look up and the DJ just went left, and then nobody's on the dance floor, and it was like 2 songs ago, it was packed. So do you self-assess and say, wait, let me put on?
It's so stressful. I stress the hell out of myself.
Do you really?
Do. Oh, I'm stressed the whole time. if it's packed, I'm stressed. If it's not packed, I'm not stressed at all. I'll play whatever.
Right.
I'll be up there dancing dolo.
Yeah.
But if it's packed and they're not dancing, I am stressed.
Trying to figure out what the.
It's. I think I know, but until they're dancing,
right,
I feel sick.
That's when you know.
Sick.
Got it.
Wow. Well, that.
Outkast. Did you see this story Big Boy told recently about being in a club? His first time in West Palm.
No.
It's the same club I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
Really? Nah.
Yeah. I used to DJ some crazy places,
Really?
bro. And this place, and Big Boy told this story. Like, it's animated. Someone took Big Boy's vocals and animated him telling. I DJ'd in some thugged out clubs, and like literally Outkast had to leave that place like running for their lives. Like, because they were at the club and the mic started tripping. And this is in the hood. This is Riviera Beach. They call Raw Vera back in West Palm. Like, it's the hood. And they were telling the people, like, fuck this club. You know, tell the people you want their money back. The sound man sucks. And they slam the mic. Yo, the people in Raw Vera is not going to do that to their club. That's their club.
That's their club, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they turned on Cast. And they had to bring them back into the dressing room. And then they literally took the money back from Cast. And then Cass and them, they escorted him out to the airport.
What?
Yeah.
Serious.
They took every penny back from Outkast.
Man.
And they told this story, so I'm just, you made me.
Right.
These are the clubs I'm DJing
What type
at.
of clubs you DJing in? Wow.
Okay, I get the stress now because.
You try to make sure they get
Well,
that
I'm not
money's
at
worth.
those. I'm not doing those no more. I am not doing those clubs no more.
Man, that's so dope.
Oh man, well, this has been a great first half. We want y'all to stick around while we pay some bills, and we will be right back.